Hi, welcome to the Inglewood Reserve. I'm about ready to go on a little bit of a run here. I took my first video here in the fall so you can see what it looks like in the early spring because not this Sunday, but next Sunday, May 5th, Cinco de Mayo, we have the Flying Pig Marathon, which we'll review. Now, I'm not going to be doing my best that run because I'm just getting over plantar fasciitis, but I feel pretty good and I'm going to have fun doing it. But before I do that, we're going to review a race we just did in mid-April. It's long overdue, so I want to get this out of the way. We went ahead and we ran the Ohio State Buckeyes 4-miler race. Now, there's a couple things we're going to look at when reviewing these races. The first thing we're going to look at is the swag. We're going to look at the course, and we're going to look at the setup. The first off is the setup. I would probably give it 2 out of 5 stars. Now, why I gave it 2 out of 5 stars is because they had a tailgate party where they were handing out a lot of food and they had food trucks there, and no real runner wants to eat before they go running. And they really had nothing after the race was over with. So that was kind of disappointing. That's when you really want to eat and get all those kind of free snacks. The stuff they gave afterwards, a banana, water, some power drinks and things like that were your standard things that you usually get after a race. But the food situation wasn't all that great. The next thing we're going to look at is the setup for the run. The run itself was okay. There was not much to it. It was in and out of the campus and a little bit out of the city of Columbus, which both were very beautiful. But the setup wasn't that great. For one, there was only one water station for the entire 4-mile course, and it was just a little bit before the 2-mile marker, if I got that right. And me personally, I was pretty dehydrated. I ate the wrong foods the night before, and a lot of people were just not feeling up to it because they were really thirsty. I saw a lot of people who did run it before that carried their own water bottles, so they knew what was up. So that was kind of a little bit disappointing. I expected 2, maybe 3 water stations throughout the race. Basically, the whole setup came towards the end, which of course I give 5 out of 5 stars. You could tell people were doing it just for the finish. For one, you get probably the hugest finisher's medal I've ever seen in my life. That thing was massive and was huge, so that was a nice thing to have. And the finish, the last 100 yards of it, actually went into the runner's tunnel of the stadium, which you'll see in this video here. Out onto the field, you got to do a little turnaround, and you got to run from the end zone to the 50-yard line, all while high-fiving football players and other athletes for the Ohio State Buckeyes. So that was pretty cool. You could tell a lot of thought was put into the finish, but not the rest of the course. So yeah, 2 out of 5 for kind of the setup for the thing. I'd say 3 out of 5 for the course itself, 5 out of 5 for the finish, and definitely a 5 out of 5 for the swag. The Ohio State Buckeye running shirt that you got was a nice material. It was one of those dry shirts that you can use when you run, and of course the medal was probably one of the coolest medals I've ever seen. So overall, I would probably give it 2.5 or 3 out of 5 stars. So the next race we're going to run will be the Flying Pig Half Marathon. Now I'm really excited. I've run this one before, but we got a lot of chips on our shoulders now because the people who have run this before, the people who set this up, USA Today just named it this year as the best marathon in America. So we're going to see if they're taking that to heart, do anything differently, or keep it as fun, and we'll see what happens. And I will see you there.